Curtis is the head of household. Who will he nominate for eviction? Find out now on Big Brother Cheesecake for Office Wars. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake for Office Wars. It's day 25 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and this week Curtis from the warehouse is the head of household. Who will he nominate for eviction? We'll find out shortly. But first, house guests, you may have noticed yesterday I did not conduct any DRs. The reason for that is I was quite busy because a couple friends of mine who have their own version of Big Brother, they posted a podcast of a previous season, so I listened to that, and then I was, for the fifth time in my life, a guest co-host on Dick at Night, the talk show about Survivor hosted by Big Brother 8 winner Evil Dick, and this season is free, so you can go to evildick.com and look up that episode if you're interested. And then Chantal, Jojo, and Jonathan posted their reality realness video, which I'm going to get into in a second, and so I watched that. So I didn't have the time yesterday, but today I will contact everybody for a DR session so that we can shoot the shit, because a lot has happened in the last 48 hours, and I'm really curious to see how that has progressed, and especially with these nominations, because this week could go a lot of ways, especially depending on who wins the veto. So the Reality Realness crew, they posted their, Chantal posted their week 3 recap video. And a rule I have, about 2 or 3 years ago, they installed these Bell 5 boxes in my condo. So I'm able to watch YouTube on TV, and it doesn't incur any data. This was about 2 or 3 years ago, and I told myself I will never watch YouTube on TV because that is a slippery slope. And once you start watching YouTube on TV, your life is over. You will never go out on a Friday or Saturday night. You will just sit on the couch. You will be like Roseanne in that season 9 episode where she decided to just stay in bed all the time and nobody could get her out. It's no. And yesterday, for the first time, I broke that rule, because I was just so exhausted, and I was like, I want to sit on my comfortable couch and not, watching it on a screen or on my phone. So I did it. For the first time ever, I watched YouTube on TV, and once again, I was very impressed. Jack was on, again, very impressed. Weeks 2 and 3, he really stepped up, and he played far better than I thought he would, and he said he would come back in a future season, and if I can get some of you people were saying Jack for All-Stars, and I'm like, listen, Jack played very well, but it's going to be hard for you to convince me to put somebody who finished 14th with people who won and were top, at least, jurors. So I don't know about All-Stars, but definitely in a future season, and if I can get Hector Casanova and Johnny Vegas to play, I think those 3 would be a lot of fun to watch, because they are the people that everybody at work calls the Grumpelstiltskins, that, they're just grumpy, and they get kicked out of Facebook group chats for voicing their opinion. So Jack impressed me. Jonathan made a point in the video. I'm going to try not to go on forever here, but Jonathan said it would be better for viewers, the alumni, and myself, if all Alliance chats had to include myself, so that these episodes would be more informative. And while I agree with him that from my perspective, I would love if there was a rule that Alliances had to include me. And I thank those of you that have put me in your Alliance chats. And if you haven't, by all means, hello. I think I've proven now that I'm not revealing shit from DR. But one, there's no way for me to police that. So I can make that rule, and uh, people can still make their own private alliance chats, and how am I going to figure it out? And two, I do think it's more fun for the players if they're able to have their own alliance group chats that don't include me, because they would feel a little bit more free to actually say whatever they feel like about the game. And I'm having fun no matter what, so I may as well try and make it fun for everybody else and do that. But yeah, and I still have the four department group chats, which two of them are not very active at all. I try every day to infuse it with stuff, but two of them they're just not talking to each other, and two of them are still pretty active. Yeah. Jojo also was funny. Jojo mentioned that I came up with some loophole for getting the jurors not to talk to the house guests. And what was so funny is I could tell from the look on Chantal's face. She didn't say it, but I could tell from the look on her face she was thinking, I wouldn't know anything about that because I was not a juror. I made it to the end. I could just tell that's what she was thinking. I don't know anything about jury. Yeah, and then Chantal mentioned the myself deep throating the bottle while I was imitating CJ, and how she was like, oh, and she fast forwarded through it because this is a family show, and I'm like, what part of this is a family show? This is not a family show. You played in this for 85 days. What part of it was a family? Everybody wants to slit each other's throats, and there's drama and intensity, and it's. And I like masturbate to somebody on the premiere night to jinx them out of winning the game. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but this ain't no family show. And yeah, so mind you, CJ's son is probably watching. Hi, 12-year-old Jaden. And yeah. So what else did they talk about? Chantal mentioned the 1 hour wait on having to infect somebody else, which I think as a whole did improve the amount of strategy going on behind the scenes, because especially in season 2, it was within seconds that everyone was, yeah, you, yeah, you're out, and it was over in 10 minutes. And some of the house guests were saying this competition took too long and was too exhausting. Just wait until later in the season. This was a very simple comp compared to the stuff that's happening later on. So good luck to you. And even Lindsay was the first one infected. And all she had to do was infect somebody else and give an antidote to somebody else. And she was pretty much done for the day. And even she was saying that she couldn't get away from the game. Well, that's not my fault. So, and Lindsay was also not upset, but irritated that she's the last voice that I haven't portrayed. First of all, in order for me to imitate you, you have to either be head of household, win the veto, be nominated, or cause a big fight. And last season, I'm pretty sure the last person to do any of those 4 things was Chantal. So, Lindsay, you are, in theory, on a winning path. But, yeah. And there was another thing I wanted to say about that. Oh, well. Oh, but because Lindsay's dreading her voice, Lindsay's voice is not going to be herself. It's going to be a celebrity, and I'm pretty sure she hates the celebrity, but it is what it is. Yeah, and I try and space them out throughout the season, like what my introductions of them. Okay, and it was brought to my attention through DR that some house guests actually took this virus comp very seriously and actually laid out a sort of a trail or a flow chart of what would happen. And I have to tell you, if you manage to predict from Lindsay all the way to the end correctly, or at least most of that, kudos to you. That means you really are aware of where everybody is in this game socially and strategically, if you're able to actually deduce what each move will lead to, especially with the antidote addition into the game. So that is pretty impressive. Okay, I think last piece of information. There was a house guest who in their DR said they wanted me to make a correction that Ashley, when she added everybody into the musical chairs, she added everybody except Brenda, and that Brenda was added in later. I don't know why that makes any kind of difference, but that person wanted me to make the correction, so I will. And last but not least, the Golden Power Veto competition is tomorrow. If you're one of the 6 house guests playing in it, it is not a live competition. It is a new competition, not really time sensitive, but in the event of a tie, whoever submits the response first wins. So you want to keep that in mind. Yeah. Okay, now it's time to get to the nomination ceremony. Curtis is the head of household, and it is his duty to nominate 2 of his fellow house guests for eviction. Marcin, his fellow warehouse department member, is safe due to the department twist, and Ryan, for drinking the blueberry Jello cup, has won a promotion to jury, which means he cannot be nominated until at least the final 9. One at a time, I will reveal the 8 house guests who are safe, and then the 2 nominees. Brazil, you are safe. Kat, you are safe. Lindsay, you are safe. Megan, you are safe! Nick, you are safe. CJ, you are safe. Ashley, you are safe. This leaves Brenda, Brandon, and Lynn. One of you is safe, 2 of you are nominated. Brenda, you are safe, which means Curtis has nominated Brandon and Lynn for eviction. Here's what Curtis had to say. Hello there, it's me, Curtis again from South Africa. I nominate Brandon and Lynn for eviction. Brandon, we don't talk much, and it seems you have a lot going on that I'm not a part of. You'll have to forgive me for being a little nervous here. Good luck in the veto comp, buddy. Lynn, you were the first person who reached out to me in this game, and you were so kind to continually ask about how Blue was doing after his fall, so it pains me to put you on the block. You were in that secret society alliance with Brandon, though, so that makes me nervous about where your head is at game-wise as well. Hopefully there's no hard feelings here. Best of luck in the veto comp. Okay, so Curtis has nominated Brandon from accounting and Lynn from sales for eviction. But the Golden Power Veto can still change the nominations. Only 6 house guests will participate in the Golden Power Veto competition. The head of household, Curtis, the 2 nominees, Brandon and Lynn, and 3 players selected in a random draw. If I draw the name of the head of household or one of the 2 nominees, they will get to choose house guest a la house guest choice. Okay, this is the Veto Lottery. So exciting! Brandon has yet to play in a veto competition, so this will be his first. And that leaves Brenda and Lindsay as the last 2 house guests who have yet to play. So we'll see if their names get drawn. I don't believe anybody's played in all 3. No. Okay, here we go. Ryan. Sorry, I just love rye bread. Okay, so Ryan gets to play. Next we have... What's that? second time this season I saw Lindsay's name after the fact. Okay, here we go with... Cat! I really hope I don't finish last again this time. I swear I'm not that bad at things. It's just a reflex. And finally, I should have taken those names out. I left Ryan and Kat in here. Watch them get drawn again. This is the point at which Megan is really sweating now because she doesn't want it to be her. She's like, please, like anybody but me. Anybody but me. Okay. Last but not least. Ashley. Oh, thank God! Interesting. Okay. So, we have... playing in the Golden Power Veto competition. Curtis, the 2 nominees, Brandon and Lynn, and 3 players selected in a random draw, which were Ryan, Kat, and Ashley. Yeah. So, with that said, who will win the Golden Power Veto competition? Find out tomorrow as we have the rules to a brand new competition, which I'm really excited about. Sunday, we have the results. Monday, the Golden Power Veto ceremony. Tuesday, the final 2 nominees plead their case, and we learn the rules to the next head of household competition. And Wednesday, another house guest will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake House, lose their shot at the $400 Cheesecake Factory gift card, and be fired from Dunder Mifflin. I'm Andrew Chefs of Moonvest. Take care, and we leave you as we eavesdrop on the house guest.